Hello retro gamers, welcome back to Beyond the Emulator with Dylan. If you've just unboxed your Anbernic RG406H, you're in the right place. Now, if your RG406H likely came with an aftermarket micro SD card preloaded with games, my first and most important recommendation is to replace that card immediately with a reliable name brand like SanDisk or Samsung. While you're at it, you'll want to sort through those included ROMs and copy over the ones you want to your new, more dependable card. The stock cards often contain games with various file types and formats, which can be inconsistent. So some of those things we'll review today. In today's tutorial, we're going to be focusing specifically on getting PlayStation emulation up and running. I've thoroughly researched and selected 5 top Android PS emulators, and we'll walk through the entire installation process for each, from app setup to smoothly loading your ROMs. By the end of this video, you'll be playing PlayStation games on your new handheld in no time. Stick around, because future videos actually, will dive even deeper into optimizing these emulators for peak performance. So grab the RG406Hs and let's get started. One note as well is, for full disclosure, when it comes to the 5 PlayStation emulators we're installing today, my hands-on experience is primarily with Duckstation and ePSXe. The other 3 that I have going to be listing, which I will show you here on the screen, we'll get out of this, would be, we are going to be showing off the Duckstation, the ePSXe emulator, the FPse, the PCSX, and the Xebra. We're going to be going ahead and loading actually the BIOS and ROMs, and there is going to be a couple different file formats that are being used for the PS1 emulators for best balance of compression and compatibility. That is best used for the RG406. Some of the file formats could be in the CHD. They're like a single optimized file. There's also the PBP, which is good for multi-discs, and then the standard, which is the BinQ, which is classic, and it can also be in the zip file. So let's get started. And we are back. So what I did was I ended up creating a folder called PS ROMs, and what I did was I went ahead and loaded in there my BIOS, which I will have some information in the details below, as well as so my BIOS files are there. If I open it up, I have 4 different files that are going to be used for the BIOS. They can be used from other multi-emulators as well if needed to be. We're going to go ahead and plug in. We've got games set up for the 2D version or 3D version. That'll go for the further emulation settings that I will have on further videos. And then I've got the 5 applications that I was going to go ahead and use today. So the first one we're going to go ahead and run with is Duckstation. So we're going to go ahead and follow through by continuing to install it. We're going to go ahead and open it. And what it's doing is it's asking a few different steps. So we're going to go ahead and go with the language. Next, we're going to go ahead and keep the settings. We're going to go ahead and import the BIOS. So we're going to go ahead and locate that folder. So we're going to go back to this ROM. We're going to go ahead and select that folder. We're going to probably have to individually pick each one. So we'll go ahead and select that one which has been imported. We'll go ahead and select the next one. And we'll just continue down. We've got one more. We'll go ahead and press next. Now we're just going to go ahead and look for a directory. So we're going to go ahead and plus. We're going to go back to the 2 ROMs. We're going to go ahead and we're going to locate for the Duckstation, which is the most highly recommended PS1 emulator. We're going to go ahead and go with the 3D folder. So let's go ahead and use that folder. Just going to go ahead and allow and bring all those in. Just going to go ahead and next. We'll go ahead and skip on the achievements at this moment. This is something you can follow up when you actually play with the application a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead and finish. Now it's basically listed the games that I had put in there. And I should be able to go ahead and select Final Fantasy. And through Duckstation it should be loading. And there we go. And of course, if we wanted to go into some settings, we could change the on-screen. So this is basically just giving you a preview of the game loading. So that would be your Duckstation application installation. We're going to go ahead and get out of that one. We're going to go back to my folder. We're going to go ahead and try the ePSXe file, which again we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to go ahead and install. We're going to go ahead and open. And what it is it's looking for storage. So we're going to go ahead and pick a folder. We're going to go ahead and pick our ROMs, which are going to be basically back in another folder over here called PS ROMs for our demo. We're going to go ahead and pick, again, let's go ahead and pick a 2D this time. We're going to go ahead and use that folder and allow it. Now this is the upfront page, so if I were to go to run a game, it's actually looking for BIOS. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and look for BIOS. So we're going to go ahead and locate those files, which are in the BIOS here. And we're up and running. To that direction, but we need to go ahead and get the preferences loaded. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add all the BIOS folders. So let's go ahead and add them all. Actually, it's asking for the whole folder. It would be nice if it could just allow us to select that. For some reason, it is not. We're going to go ahead and select another one. We're going to go back to our games. For some reason, due to that BIOS, it ends up loading, but it doesn't seem to allow us to add additional BIOS, and that could be in a further video. But this is going ahead and loaded that game. So a couple quick tweaks and we are good to go. We'll go ahead and get out of that one. We'll go ahead and quit out of that game. And we've got two games up here at the top. So now we're going to go ahead and add our third game. Third emulator. So let's go ahead and find, my apologies, looking for that file. Boom. We're going to go with the FPse. We're going to go ahead and install that now. Going to go ahead and open that. It's going to go ahead and search for games, which is kind of nice. See if it's able to locate those off of my SD card or the memory. And again, this is an application I've never run before. This is the first time. Kind of gives us an idea of what's going on here and how long it might take. Hopefully a few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, it was probably about another 30 seconds. And this is what popped up on the screen after. So we're going to go ahead and press OK. We've got a lot of boxes, so I'm not really sure what that means. So let's go ahead and see if we can load a game. Well, let's go ahead and boot the BIOS. That's probably just for a setting. We don't want to use that. Let's go ahead and open that game again. See if we can figure it out. To load a game. Here's our menu they're giving us. We're going to quit the game. We're going to go ahead and get to the menu. We're going to go ahead and go to the settings. Let's go see if we can find the system. It's a very interesting interface. Sorry, we'll have to get into a little bit more, but let's go ahead and load the BIOS. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and go to our external storage. We're going to go to our PS2 ROMs. We're going to go to our BIOS. But it doesn't allow us to... Let's load a game then. So if we go down here, it's definitely not being user-friendly for a second here. We're going to go up. We're going to go external storage. We're going to go to my ROMs. We're going to find a 3D game. We're going to go with Final Fantasy. And is this going to load, or is this going to give us a boot screen? It's loading. Just taking a few X. Ooh, license check failed. That doesn't sound. Connect your device to the internet. Interesting. We're going to go and press start. New game? Sure. So the emulator did open up and function with the game. So it has started. Just going to have to load it, it looks like. But we don't have it on screen. So that would be our third emulator. Okay? So we're going to go next. We have done the Duckstation, the ePSXe, the FPse. So now we're going to move on to the PCSX. So we'll go back over to my folder. And here we are, the fourth one. Whoa. Why isn't it not opening? We're not going anywhere. Okay. Install. Because I have no internet. I was trying to save. So, are we needing to refresh to install this? That shouldn't be the case here. We should be able to get out of this. We should be able to go back to my folder. And for some reason it seems to be defaulting to this, so that is not a success right now. We're going to have to come back to that individually. And then the Xebra, let's go ahead and take a stab at that right now. We'll go with the fourth one. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And it just gives us a screen showing files that we're going to need to connect. That sounds like we're going to need to connect to a computer. So that is not something we're going to use at this point. So at this point, whoa, there's a lot of stuff on that. And a lot of keys. So we're going to need to get out of that. So at this point, at this time, what I was able to do is actually able to show you three emulators. And what I would like to do is come back and show some further details onto those three. But I hope you enjoyed some of the simple installation of the emulators that I had put down today. And again, thanks for watching, and have fun, and happy gaming.